Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rachel Chamness. I'm a shamanic medium and lightworker guide, and today I'll be channeling some really unusual but light-bringing fae, the gargoyles, Gryphons, Gremlins, and Creek Boogies, which are pretty interesting little fellas. Welcome to 5D Channels and Chats with Rachel Chamness. As a shamanic channel and mentor, I'll be sharing wisdom and healing from higher dimensions through channeling beings of light. You will also hear liquid Reiki shamanic sound healing, channels between intuitives, and discussion on higher dimensional healing and channeling. You'll find links and more in the show notes, so be sure to check them. You can find me at soundwavesheal.com and my Facebook group, 5D Daily Spiritual Healers in Higher Dimensions. This podcast is a recording from my monthly membership Transformation and Ascension group for Lightworkers, or TAG, where we connect to beings of light each month and receive their healing and gifts. I'll be bringing them through to tell us more about the 7D Earth Center grid, which is a new grid that's come online to help us really anchor into New Earth, into our new timelines, and really strengthen our dimensional connections. So I think we should just start with a little information about these guys. They are from the light. Even gremlins are from the light. They are more neutral fae, meaning that they are a little bit trickster. They can play a few tricks on you, but they do it for you to learn. It's for your own good. It's nothing that will hurt you or is evil in nature at all. They're a little bit tricky and they're really cute, and they are often helping you with electronics that are problematic, or even lawn equipment like your lawnmower, or even like your refrigerator or your microwave, your toaster oven, or even your iPad, your phone. This is the kind of thing that they help with. They're kind of tinkers, and they can be really helpful if you get to know them. They don't like to be seen too much. Well, I'll let them tell you more about them, but they are not bad or evil, but they can be a little tricky. And I'd like to also just let you know that sometimes if you're like, no, I've seen these guys and they are bad fae, I just want you to know that there are a lot of shape-shifting things out there that pretend to be fae creatures that are not good. And so often if you see that, you should look a little bit further with your third eye and see if there's maybe something else that is there that is pretending to be fae. Because the fae tell me that the unseelie and any of the negative side of fae, that is all in the past and that doesn't exist anymore. So if you're dealing with bad fae, then it is most likely a trickster, much more sinister energy pretending to be fae. I've looked into these cases many times, and that's what I find every time. It's definitely not my ego. It's definitely something that is really happening out there. So I just want to preface that with this. So stay tuned and learn more about these bringing light fae and see if you agree, because I'm telling you, that's what I get every single time. And I'm open to this other side of fae. I want to see, is it out there? I'm looking for it. When people say they have it, I go in and it's not what it seems to be. It's trickster energy. Okay, so that's that little fae lesson, but let's go on. So Gryphons, spelled two different ways. We're going to use the first one. Gryphons are, of course, this being that is part lion, part eagle. So these creatures, you also see them in my deck, Elemental Magic and Manifestation. And this is one here. Of course, these are just, cartoon or anime sort of pictures of them. But here's one from my deck, Mateo, if you have my deck. And then I also have a gremlin called Jumpbox. So this is Jumpbox, the gremlin that's in my deck, Elemental Magic and Manifestation. And they're really hard to describe to an artist. So sort of like this, but kind of also not. I don't have any gargoyles in my deck, and I don't have Creek Boogies, but I do have a picture of a Creek Boogie. So here's one picture of a Creek Boogie that I had done by Shannon Oliver, who also did my deck. They're these little bitty beings, and they help us with a little more earth grounding. They live in Tennessee, and they live in other places of the world. The Creek Boogies that came today are from Tennessee. We actually have a few pictures of them. I'll show you. Here's another one. Kind of looks like that too. And they look a little bit like Groot. Here's another artist's depiction of a Creek Boogie that I had drawn, and pretty interesting. So all of these elementals are beings that have come to me since I started making my deck, my Oracle card deck, which you can find on Amazon or on my site, Soundways Heal. And there's a lot in there, like 37 different kinds of beings, and I keep meeting more types of Fae. And so these are just kind of the weird Fae, and they're coming forward to help us, and they want us to know them better and not be afraid of them, especially gremlins. And I think most people think gargoyles are cute little creatures, and most people don't have a problem with griffins. But, let's just bring them in. Let's get to know them. The Creek Boogies are totally new. I met them right before my very first retreat, which I did in the Smoky Mountains last year. And that was really amazing to get to know them. And they are so helpful. I love them. They're just the cutest things. So let's begin. I'm just going to start bringing in these guys and let's talk to them. We have quite a few. So we have two gargoyles, Mack and Ernest. I really don't make up these names, I swear. I'm always laughing when they give me their names. We have Shalati the Gryphon, and we have Tcha-Tcha the Gremlin, and we have a Creek Boogie named Shelaynee, who is a female Creek Boogie. So I think we should start with the gargoyles. I'm going to bring in Mack, and let's see what they have to say about the Earth Center grid, they're calling it, and is it new, and how is it strengthening our dimensional connections and things like that. So let's let Mack come in and answer that question. I am Mack, and I am what you call a gargoyle. Many of you have seen us in stone and seen us come alive through the stone in movies and screens. We are very grounded stone creatures in a way. It is our essence, our spirit, that inhabits these stone artist renderings to be on your earth, and you will only find us where artists have made us. That does not mean that they created us, but that we came through them as a channel to help them make our liking so that we could enter the vehicle of their stone masonry. Even where there are molds, there we are. It does not need to be a gargoyle that is made painstakingly by hand, but wherever they are made, we take the opportunity to come within and view the world. You are asking, will the stone then come alive as you've seen depicted? No, we are not moving. We barely move. And so we do not feel the need to move the stone or become an animated third dimensional creature on your earth. If your third eye is open and you see us, you will see us in this form, but we do not move a lot. We are telepathic beings, and you would call us slow and methodical. Our purpose here is to connect our stone and what we are made of in your third dimensional reality materials to stone that is like or same deep into the earth. And we create a grounding connection. And that is why builders like to put us high in the air on buildings, because that is where we can enact more grounding to higher levels. And it is very helpful to those who work on high floors or live in high floors. So if you have an apartment or office building or condo high in the air at the top or even partway of a large building, if you are higher than the first floor even, and you do not have gargoyles on the outside of your building, we suggest you buy one and place it outside if you can, if you have a balcony, if not, near the window, the door, or the corners of your home to create more grounding in your space. This is Rachel. I just have to interrupt. What? That's so cool. Who knew? Oh my gosh, that's really neat. I love it. And I love that they're like, He was also showing me like when the masonry, so he's kind of showing me like a long time ago, people would painstakingly make the gargoyle out of stone. And they would like attune that person to them and come through them and have them be channeling them to make them in their likeness. And even when, nowadays we're probably using more molds or things like that, those are also channeled. Okay, I'm going to let Mac talk a little bit more. So interesting. Okay. Let's talk about the 7th dimensional center grid. Yes, it is a new grid for you. We have brought it online to help you ground deeper. We know that most of you ground deeply into the 5th dimensional grid of Gaia, however you see it, heart of Gaia, crystalline grid, new earth grid, or Gaia and her crystalline heart. And yet there is so much distortion on your earth now. We have brought this online as always intended to help you go deeper. If you will like to envision it, or if you see it now, you will see it nestled right under Gaia's grid. It is more earthy. You may see it plants, and you may see how it interconnects, and it will have you grounding much, much deeper. This helps you stay on the timeline you wish, going forward into ascension and disconnecting you from the 3rd dimensional timeline, which is not beneficial for your heart space. You are listening to this, and so you are already moving towards the ascension timeline. You must continue to work on yourself, releasing your attachments and emotions and working on your fears and distrust and clearing and all that you do already and more. You must remember that you put yourself first. You must help yourself to help others. There is no one here who does not need help every once in a while, no matter how high your dimensional space and light is, or how many clients you serve. He's gone. That got deep, huh? The way he was talking? Whoa. So we're going to go to Ernest. Okay. Let's bring in Ernest and see what he has to say. This being asks, why do I also come? For there are more than one type of gargoyle, as we are often made from different materials. I wanted to come and talk about a lighter side of gargoyles. I am made of porcelain on your earth, and there are others that are not made of heavy stone. When this happens, we have a lighter vibration. And so if you feel that heavy stone is too grounding and you wish for a lighter touch, you may choose one of us for your home or garden, which is made of porcelain or other lighter material, or is hollow, or you may make us yourself. Yes. Are you thinking that now? Would you like to make one of us out of any material we are allowing? We like earth-based materials and do not care for polymer or plastic. If you can make us out of whatever you like, but that is mostly from the earth, we will certainly come to your version. We will help you craft it to look like who is going to inhabit the product to help you. And you may make these for others as well. I just want to interrupt for a second to say, if you are a dedicated and goal-oriented healer or light worker who wants to rapidly expand into shamanic and multidimensional realms for full expansion of your psychic abilities, knowledge, and healing work, I am starting a new course called Accelerated Channeling, and it includes many of the courses I've been teaching for years for full expansion, and we will be concentrating on psychic healing and channeling, and I'd love to talk to you if this sounds like it's right up your alley. There is a little bit of qualifications, so jump on a call with me if you'd like, and send me a message, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks so much. Okay, that's cool. So if you're an artist and you're like, ooh, could I make myself a gargoyle? They keep trying to make me say some other word. I think they must have another name somewhere else. Anyway, then you should. I thought they were going to say polymer was okay, but they're like, no, too bad, because that's what I was thinking. Ooh, maybe they can make you out of polymer or like some like, like Play-Doh-ish stuff. I don't know. I'm not an artist. They're like, no. So not too much plastic, guys. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of cool. But they're kind of saying if you did want to make like something small, like a keychain or something out of plastic, polymer, something like that, it's nice to have. There's nothing wrong with that. They need to be in something that's also reflected deep in the earth so that they can be connected, like they said. So let me see if Ernest has anything else to say. Ernest feels more feminine to me, so interesting, I guess. Well, whatever. Names don't mean anything. I mean, if they sound masculine or feminine, that's just old programming, right? Okay, let me see. We like to also inhabit the light. And so it's not just the connection to deep in the earth, but the light that we bring through this connection. And we can grow this light through our being, through our housing, as you might call it, and bring it out throughout your home. And so, yes, you can make a grid of gargoyles. Yes, you can. I hope you enjoyed this preview of this month's Masterclass in TAG. I hope that this gave you a lot of food for thought, and I hope that you really enjoyed what they were saying. I learned a lot, and I thought it was really cool. I'm looking forward to the attunement, where we can attune to a lot of these things. If you're interested in joining TAG or want to see more about it or hear more about it, please send me a message or check it out on soundwavesheal.com. We'd love to have you if you're drawn to it. So thanks so much for watching, and see you soon. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. If you are a healer or spiritual entrepreneur, present or future, I'd like to invite you to my Facebook group, 5D Daily Spiritual Healers in Higher Dimensions, where I'll be live for more discussion and questions on Thursdays. I'll put the link in the show notes. I'm Rachel Chamness at Sound Waves Heal.